Can you fucking explain to me why we're trying to kill each other again?
Are you fucking kidding me? You really forgot why we're fighting in the first place? It's over the little vixen in the film.
Wait, what? Brie Larson, that fantastic actress?
Yes, her! What a stunning little minx. I'm going to get her in any way I please.
Oh, that's it.
Hey, since when could you get up? Hey! What is up, everybody? RandomRandomMan here, bringing you my review for Free Fire. Taking place in Boston, Massachusetts during the 1970s, the plot basically follows two gangs where one of them wants to buy guns from the other, so they meet up in an abandoned warehouse to get the deal done. However, things turn sour as a scuffle turns into a full-blown shootout against everyone involved, where it is a game of survival. Going into this movie, I was looking forward to it, as I remember the first trailer for this film coming out last summer, and it's taken quite a while for this movie to get a US release, which of course it has as of recently. Now, the five main players also got me interested in seeing this film, as they are all actors I really enjoy, but also the concept in it being essentially a 90-minute shootout set in one self-contained location. It also comes from writer-director Ben Wheatley, who I've never seen any of his films prior to this one, so this was my first exposure to his work. With this cast, they all make this material really interesting to watch, as each one of them has a distinct personality that makes them so colorful. Brie Larson plays the intermediary who sets up this deal in the first place, and she really wants everyone to walk away from this deal happy. Of course, that doesn't happen, and she holds her own in scenes despite everybody, including her, getting shot and crawling around in the process. She is incredibly capable in this film. Shartlo Copley plays the South African gun dealer who is absolutely bonkers in this film, with his accent really making for a lot of his lines sound a lot more hilarious in execution. Armie Hammer plays one of the representatives from Copley's group. He has a real knack for deadpan comedy, as a lot of the lines he says really come off as quite dark. A lot of what these characters say are dark, but I thought he was superb in this film. Jack Rayner plays another guy on the side of Hammer and Copley. He is essentially the Irish Seth Rogen in this movie. He is hysterical. On the other side, we have members of the IRA who are buying guns from Copley and company. One of these members, played by Cillian Murphy, a nice role for him too. He has a bit of beef with Shartlo Copley's character, and it is fun to see. Same with another cast member I have to mention, Sam Riley on Murphy's side. He has a huge beef with Rayner's character, but he is a junkie in this movie, and it is hilarious to see what he does here. So for the main players, I think this cast is outstanding. Moving on to the writing, this film is essentially a 90-minute shootout. Take that for what it is. That is the basic gist of the plot. It's not like there's flash bang boom action every second though. No, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for us to even see any actual free firing starting in this film. The setup for this movie definitely reminded me of early Tarantino work, most notably Reservoir Dogs, for its own contained concept. That is both a huge plus to this movie, but also a huge detriment too. One problem I would say is that you're either gonna get into the shooting when it starts or not. It's trying to be as realistic as possible, as none of these guys have particularly good aim, and also it's not a very fast movie either, despite the short running time. When the shooting does start, it does go on and on and on, and it's hilarious to see. Now, I saw in an interview with this film that it was shot and edited in real time. That is an interesting mode of filmmaking to take with a movie like this, and I think it is an experiment that paid off visually in what we saw. As when these characters get more messed up as the movie progresses, there is a lot of consistency. We see more dirt and grime get on them, blood coming out and drying up all over their clothes and their surrounding areas. But it's also a bit negligible because the direction with this movie has a lot of handheld cam throughout. There's barely any steady shots with the shooting unless it zooms in and out of a character and remains steady. That's not necessarily a huge issue, as I was able to see where these characters were at all times whenever the camera would bob and weave between different groups of people lying all over this warehouse. The film did have a tendency to be repetitive at times, since its concept really was trying to be stretched out for all that it was worth, even with its basic simplicity being set up in the beginning. There was enough creativity throughout, though. There was other additional padding, like there was a romance subplot of sorts between the characters played by Cillian Murphy and Brie Larson that was so not needed in there. It was looming throughout the film, and it never really went anywhere, I guess. I was still engaged with the film, even with its problem rearing itself here and there. I still wanted to see who would come out alive or not. I was secretly rooting for Brie Larson's character the whole time. Other technical elements that I have to praise are the costumes, for how ridiculous they look for its 1970s era setting. The actual look of the warehouse looked very much abandoned. It looked really grimy, and how the environment was creatively used once again for these characters to hide behind or just to shoot from wherever. I also noticed the use of the score, which was sparing throughout. We got occasional drum riffs here and there, but there was the prominent use of John Denver's Annie's song, which was fitting, even though that is a beautifully uplifting song in a film that has a lot of dark humor and violence. Overall, I will say that I did enjoy myself watching this different independent shoot-'em-up flick. Even with the issues I had with the movie, mainly it's stemming off of it being uneven and unfocused at times, it still had enough in there that will leave you very much entertained once the shooting does start. It gets loud, it gets fun, ridiculous, but also hilarious, with a lot to offer with those who are open to seeing something that they haven't seen before in this unconventional action flick. And for that, I recommend it. My final verdict for Free Fire is 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Free Fire, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.